I was lucky enough to get a job at Abbey Road Studios many years ago, and I started off in those days as a tape operator, which means I just ran the tape, sat at the back of the room and ran the tape. And I was lucky enough to work with very great bands. I worked with George Harrison and John Lennon and Pink Floyd and various other people. And I actually started producing pretty soon. First record I produced was 1976 with a band called Bebop Deluxe, who you probably wouldn't have heard of. And I then went on and produced records with XTC and Magazine and the Skids and Simple Minds and various other things.
I had always been interested in technology and stuff associated with music, and I was in a band and went to do a demo when I was about 13 years old and saw the guy recording our band and was like, I want to do that, I don't want to be in the band anymore, and started doing demos at home and various bits of recording, and yeah, build it up from there.
To become a producer is quite a difficult thing, and you can learn so much at college and you can learn all the technical details and things, but really there's nothing better than getting first-hand experience in a studio. And so what I would recommend to aspiring producers is to hang around studios, even get your own little studio thing, get some musicians to record, to produce, and really get experience and take chances, make mistakes, and and have fun with it, really. I mean, anyone that produces a record needs a lucky break. It needs someone to trust them and someone to give you opportunity and and have a little bit of success. And it's a funny job, really, because you can produce great records, and if the records don't sell, if people haven't heard of the records, then you don't get anywhere. You kind of have to have a little break to, even if it's badly produced, if the record is successful, then you're known as a good producer. It's a funny kind of thing.
I left school to go and make tea at a recording studio, and you learn more in 2 weeks doing that than you would at 4 years at college, I think.
I look for uniqueness, really. I look for something special that the band's got that no other band's got, I think. And I look for performance ability, that they can sing and play, and the quality of the songs, really. Songs and lyrics and what they're all about. And yeah, I mean, every band's different, every band is a different thing, and you know that if you're going to go into the studio with them, that they've got to be committed and they've got to be able to play well and perform well, and the singer's got to have some lyrics written before he goes in the studio and those kind of things. So, but really I'm looking for that special, unique thing that sets the band apart, that's different from everyone else out there. So that's what I'm doing.
If I get sent a bunch of demos, I tend to, it's stuff I like, stuff that makes me feel something, which is the same way as if I'm buying records. And that's the first stage, is you get sent something to listen to, and if it makes me feel something, check it out further, and then you meet the people, and if you get on with them, and like John was saying, if they can play, I like to make records that I'd buy. If I like to make music that I think I'd definitely, if I heard that, I'd go and buy that, and that's
it's your own taste, really. I mean, I might choose an artist to produce that Dan wouldn't like at all, so on and so on, It varies, really. It depends on what kind of producer you are. You get some dictator producers that will say, this is the way it's going to be. No one, this is the way it's going to be, or else I'm leaving, kind of thing. And you get collaborative producers that will work, almost co-producers, where you work with the band, where all the band are making suggestions on sound and arrangements and takes and mixes and things. But they work both ways, Sometimes you have to be a dictator and say this is the way it is. Sometimes the band can't be bothered. Sometimes the band are lazy and don't have any comments. Sometimes the bands get very involved. But really, when you're doing a professional recording where you're getting paid, whoever the client is, for instance, if the record company is paying for it, sometimes the record company takes the final decision. You know, you can do a mix, the producer's happy, the band is happy, but you have to make the record company happy as well. It's like the producer is kind of the middleman between the musicians, the band, and the record company. You have to kind of sway between the two and please them both, I think.